The New York Knicks are down, but they are not out, and that is why we are here. Welcome inside another edition of Knicks in 6. I am Rebecca Harlow alongside Alan Hahn. Hahn, today we are talking about more things that we need to see from the Knicks to win Game 5 so that they can extend their season.
We got a huge crowd. That's important, of course, so we're going to need to see more of that enthusiasm from the fans because they're going to need you on Wednesday night. So, Bex, go ahead. Kick us off.
So let's start with Julius Randle. He's coming off of his best game so far in this series, and I think we're going to see him build on that. We need to see more of the Julius Randle that we saw during the regular season. And guess what? We saw that in Game 4. And you know why? He said it all came down to decision making. After that game, he said, I made those quicker decisions and it led to better results. And guess what? It's going to be a domino effect, Alan. If he can continue to make those quick decisions, he's going to find Reggie. Reggie's going to start knocking down those shots, and on down the line, the offense will work so much more smoothly if he can keep making those quick decisions that we've seen from him all year long.
Yeah, he's just got to get himself into rhythm, and maybe he did find something at the end of that game. All right, what I want to see more of, Obi Toppin. I need to see more of him. Why? He's been a highlight film at least once every game. Remember Game 1, pick and roll with Burks? That beautiful dunk when he went baseline, gets the crowd going, especially again, you're back at home, need it. Game 2, how could we forget? The alley-oop on the break, the crowd starts chanting, OB, OB. There's his mom, tears down her eyes. I mean, what a moment that was. Game 3, 2 alley-oops, one from Derrick Rose, all the way from half court. It was like a fast break alley-oop. Never seen anything like it. That was special. And then in Game 4, around Gallo, lefty finger roll. So each game, he's giving you a little highlight. Each game, he's showing you he's got some confidence, and maybe he's asking for a little more playing time.
I want to see more comeback kids. How about that? When you take a look at the NBA, there are only 13 out of 260 attempts of teams that have been down 3-1 and come back and won a series. But guess what? It happened not once, but twice by the same team, the Nuggets, in the bubble last summer. First of all, everybody thought that the Clippers were going to win the title. Guess who knocked them off after being down 3-1? Oh, Denver. So I think the fact that the Knicks have a recent example of a young team that has been down 3-1, continued to believe, continued to fight, and found a way to come back not once but twice, it's going to give them some confidence knowing that it's something they can do. Plus, let's not forget about this, Alan. The Knicks have been the comeback kids all season long. They have played with their backs against the wall all season long. They are comfortable playing in that position. There is no reason why they're going to walk into that game on Wednesday and assume that they're not going to win.
I love it. I love it. It's the optimism that we're looking for. And also when you talk about confidence, you know what I'm looking for more of? That Emmanuel Quickley confidence. Yeah, I'm staying with the rookies because I do think when a series shifts back to home, the rookies are more comfortable. The young players, the bench players, they are more comfortable. So I'm looking at Emmanuel Quickley, and I'm seeing a guy who's now 0 for 7 from three-point range in his last 3 games after hitting his first 2 of the series in Game 1. This kid all year hasn't lacked confidence. In fact, he's come into games. He's been a difference maker at times for this team, helping with those comebacks you're talking about. Well, if they ever need him to have that confidence, to show us that swagger that he's had from draft night forward, Game 5 will certainly be it. I want to see more of that Emmanuel Quickley that we were enjoying throughout this season.
Alan, he has never had 3 games in a row where he hasn't hit a 3-point shot. That's happened now. It's not going to be 4. You know, the other point, I want to see more rest. And guess what? The Knicks are going to get that. The Hawks right now are the healthier team. The Knicks, not so much. Nerlens Noel has been a massive part of why this team is winning games. And he's banged up. He's working on that ankle. I mean, he's basically playing with one leg right now. The fact that the Knicks have 3 days off to rest, in 3 days, I mean, there's only 2 full days, but it was an early game, and then it's a late game Wednesday. That's almost 3 full days of recovery. I think that is going to go a long way, not only for Noel, but also for the other guys like Derrick Rose and Taj Gibson, who are playing a lot of minutes right now, who are on the older end, who will really benefit from that rest. And if they come back feeling healthier on Wednesday night, they're going to win this game.
That's such a great point, because we all know how important Nerlens Noel is to this defense as the anchor, especially once somebody gets into the paint. He's always been so good at that in pick and roll. And we know that has been a major issue, stopping that pick and roll, Trae Young and the Hawks so far in this series. You mentioned Derrick Rose. He has logging a lot of minutes. He's also moved into the starting lineup. With that, you take some scoring away from the bench, and the bench has not been nearly as productive as they were in the first two games. First two games of this series, plus 66. The next two games, minus 12. We got to get production off the bench. So what I need more of is I need more of that Alec Burks we saw in game one when he had 27 points. We've seen him do this where he could just take over the game. The fourth quarters, he's had huge fourth quarters. Here's a guy that had 27 in the first game, as I mentioned, and since then averaging 10 points a game off the bench. When you remove Derrick Rose's offense, you look at Alec Burks and say, okay, we need you now to step up and carry the offense off the bench. He only averaged 10 points a game in the last 3 games. So I need more Alec Burks, more bench production, and I'm hoping to see it in game 5.
So as long as we see more of all this stuff, Knicks are going to win that game. We said it here on Knicks in 6.